Hey everyone, welcome to a new YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I seek inspiration for some of my designs for 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗑, for Redbubble. Now, when it comes to me creating different designs, guys, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not even going to lie here. There are times where I'm stumped. There are times where I need a little bit extra motivation. There are times where I need some inspiration. You know, it's not every day that I get out of bed and I'm 100% excited to do this. You guys got to keep in mind, I've been doing this for a little while now. And for me, I started 2 months prior to January of 2022, posting 60 designs a day every day. Now, I was posting other designs prior to that. It's not like I was, I had zero experience with print on demand and then got into it. But I didn't really do it as consistently as I thought I would be doing. So, what do I do when I need inspiration? I've shared this video once before, but I haven't really talked about it too much because today was one of those days, this morning, where I was doing my 60 designs where I was just stumped. I needed help. I needed some inspiration. A lot of the times, I'm not looking to copy other designs when I seek out inspiration. I'm just simply looking for, a style design idea, maybe an idea on a font, or how a design is configured from, it's kind of like where the text is, where the image is. And more importantly, it would be really cool to see feedback on that design, to see how much money does that design make, or how profitable is it, or what are even the reviews on that design. Who out there are buying these designs? The way I look at it is, imagine if there was a way that you could see if a design exists and then see if it's successful and how the market reacts to it. I'll be honest, there's a lot of designs that, and this is probably a whole topic for a whole nother video, but there's a lot of designs that I'm not proud of making, but they make sales and they generate sales. And it's not something I would wear. It's not something I would go out using, but they make sales. That's kind of why I altered my opinion on some of the times, like, if you're not willing to wear something that you make, don't sell it. I disagree with that now. And that was a statement that I said before. Sometimes things that you essentially choose not to make could have been your big seller. So anyways, let's get into the method of what I do and how I do things. So there's a software called 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I'm sure you guys know about it. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a company that essentially gives you a lot of data through Merch by Amazon. And Merch by Amazon, if you think about it, is like the granddaddy of print on demand. When you think of different platforms like Redbubble, 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏𝗑, Teespring, even Zazzle, all these kind of places, there's no company out there that produces as much sales as Amazon.com. And with that same notion, you have a thriving marketplace on Amazon.com that actually gives us data. Like if you look at something like Redbubble, all we know is, what's more effective in selling, like one product or another, but we don't know how many sales it has. And the only information we could actually learn from that is if they're on the same store. If they're on different stores, for sure we could search the products in search, but we still don't really have any data. There's no ranking system. It would be cool if Redbubble can produce some sort of ranking system to the public and show us what designs work and what don't work. But clearly, Redbubble has a system that's working for them, and they're profit hungry, and they put money first. They're really not going to put their creators first. They'll put their customers second, aside from the money. But, as somebody who's trying to make money on these platforms, and I'm sure you guys are too, I'm always looking for an opportunity. I'm looking for an opportunity to increase my skill set in designing, increase my skill set in, doing research, all these different things. I'm always trying to get better. And it's not even just print on demand, but a lot of the things that make me money online. So anyways, there's a software here called 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I've been using this software for over a year now, at least. And the software allows me to search for a certain keyword. They have a tool here called the product search tool. I search for a certain keyword and I search the marketplace. In my case, I always keep it in the US. That's the biggest marketplace, and that's what I serve. And here, the category, obviously, Merch by Amazon shirts. The reason why I say shirts is because there's a larger pool of shirts. Like sometimes somebody who's, let's say, limited, who's, let's say, in, where they can only post 5 active designs, which I think is the very first tier of the Amazon selling platform, right? The Merch by Amazon. You can't have like t-shirt, hoodie, all these kind of things. What you can do is you can have, let's say, 5 different t-shirts. So I always stick to t-shirts here. And when I search the keyword, I'm searching for something that I'm looking for inspiration in. Sometimes the keyword doesn't matter as much, but I'm just looking for designs. I'm looking for ideas, right? And I'll hit search. And here, there are all these different ideas of designs that come up that people are already using to be successful. Now, I want to be clear. What I'm not doing is I'm not going to design like this or this, selecting it, looking at it on Amazon and saying, okay, we're going to copy this guy. That's not me. I'm not going to do that. There are a lot of copycatters who indeed do that. Now, can you make money doing that? I mean, you probably can, because it shows you that the product already has a proof of concept. It already works. There's some proof behind it. But to me, number one, that's not moral and ethical. But number two, I need to exercise my own brain. I need to figure out things that will work for me so that I can rightfully own my own product, and I can go to sleep at night with a clear conscience knowing that my stuff works and I don't have to worry about anybody else. So the interesting thing here is I look at some of the ratings and I look at how it sells. Now, the thing that really, essentially puts the cap on the bottle for me and really closes or seals the deal is I like to look at the analytics. Now, the analytics for certain designs, obviously it takes time to develop here, but I get to look at this data because I want to see, is it something that's seasonal? Is it something that's not seasonal? Like, I want to know what the data is. So there are a total of 15 products with this label, and I'm just going to go ahead and close this. Now, the analytics, there's a lot of analytics. We have this right here. Let me go ahead and select it. The first one that you guys saw here, hold on, I clicked on the wrong thing, but the first thing that you guys saw was to see how many products with the exact same label and how many are successful. We can see that data, right? I can save this information to my favorites. This right here, this analytical button, let's go ahead and wait for this to load, because for me, I don't really care about the trademark right now. It's not like something I'm trying to copy off of. Let's go ahead and see how this works out here. And this is the analytics that I typically go for. So I like to see the history of this product. And you could see here, all the way from December 1st to, let's just say, about somewhere in the March area, this has been slowly growing organically, right? And the reason why I say that is because the price never really moved, so there was no price spikes or price lowers. And you could see organically that it's slowly got attention and then slowly got sales here and there, right? Now, the sales rank, whenever you see the sales rank move up and down like this, there's a positive and there's a negative to it, okay? When the sales rank starts off, right, low, that means that the product had had a decent start. And a lot of the times, products do have decent starts when they start with Amazon. The only thing is, they're not ranked right away. Like, when you create a design on Amazon, they don't come out with a ranking, right? They don't have a number on their account. But Amazon places it in a way to where it gets attention. I remember when I used to sell on Amazon, the certain designs that I would create would sell in a matter of hours without using any kind of Instagram marketing or anything like that, which I've shown videos on how to do the Instagram marketing to boost your success on Redbubble. On Merch by Amazon and Redbubble. So I've shown that. But you could see here, there's been a slow increase. And this increase here is an increase in the best seller ranking, the BSR. Now, when the seller ranking is a higher number, that's actually not a good thing. That means that it generated less sales. But you could see here that it had a really, really good start, and then it kind of slowly dwindled down. Now, I have my own assumptions for this. If you see here, the best-selling dates are around December, January, and here it's starting to get better again. And that's, in my opinion, because of hunting season. If you guys are familiar with hunting, right, there are certain times out of the year where you can hunt. Well, during, let's say, May, it's not really, at least to my knowledge, not really that much of a hunting season, maybe fishing season, but not really too much hunting. Now, obviously, it does differ. Things do differ different places, but you can see here, this is somewhat of a seasonal product. And every season where the hunting season comes around, maybe more people will be looking to buy this product for their family members, for their friends, etc. Now, what I also look for in inspiration is not just the design, but certain keywords that might spark my attention. Now, granted, I do have a tool for this that helps me accumulate the best tags, specifically for Redbubble as an example, and I'll just share with you guys what that tool is. If you go to, there's a software, here it is, the Redbubble Rocket Tagger, where it actually helps me find the tags that I'm looking for a specific tool. Now, I made videos on this, and I don't want to make this channel about this tool, but regardless, I look at keywords here that do kind of spark my attention. So if I'm creating a deer hunting t-shirt, I might want to include the word whitetail. I might want to include the word hunter. I might want to include the word venison lover, right? Nature, things like that, that might kind of intrigue, essentially kind of boost intrigue, right? Now, the reason why I'll do that is because these words are associated with what's in the title. So hunter, hunting shirts for men, nature, funny hunting shirts, right? Whitetail, you got funny hunting shirts, you got all these kind of things. So these are keywords that relate to the actual design. Now, once again, you could see this nice slow increase. Now, this increase, like I said, is not the best because it means that your sales are decreasing. If your sales rank is higher in level, like if you get to 1 million sales rank, 900K, if you go upward, that's not a good thing. If you go downward, that's a good thing. Now, you could see here, oddly enough, there are certain circumstances to where the price jolts upward and the sales jolts downward. Now, could be a few things that happen here that maybe we can't necessarily explain. Maybe the individual paid for certain kinds of marketing or certain kinds of promotion that we don't necessarily know about, and so they took advantage of that by increasing the price. Maybe they were testing different methods out, different things, but regardless, it led to an increase, and then it led to a slow decrease again. And then there's this upward trend. So if I was to create let's say a whitetail deer hunting shirt or merchandise on any platform, not just, Redbubble, but TeePublic, right? I would keep in mind that there might be this high sales amount towards the hunting season and then not as much sales or not as predictable sales during the regular year. And the reason why I could say that is because a sales rank of let's say 76 or 100, you can get a few sales a day, right? You can get 3, 4, 5 sales a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. But you can get a good amount of sales. If your ranking you're sitting at 500,000, 600,000, you're not making a sale a day, right? You're just not generating that much. So that's something that I would keep in mind. The next thing that I look for, and I said this first, is really just the design. I want to see some good-looking designs for things that, intrigue my interest. And also what I do, when I look at these designs, I think of, okay, how would I improve on this design? Now, once again, I'm not looking to copy these designs in any shape or form. I'm not looking to copy them. I'm not looking to take somebody's hard work and put it on my own site as my hard work. But what I'm looking to do is I'm looking for inspiration. So here, this person has let's go ahead and click on the link actually, but let me get rid of these extra links that are really not necessary. This person has a bow and arrow with a deer with an American flag. To me, that's really, really cool. I can take this information, I could say, okay, maybe hunters like having the American flag on the back of their shirt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're interested in that kind of thing. So that might be something that I keep in mind when I create my next shirt. And you can see here something that's similar. On the right side, we have a deer, kind of like a silhouette on the right side, with a flag in the background with a camo stripes on the flag. So once again, these are things that just interest me. And by the way, guys, this is another show here. For this design, remember, guys, when I said not everybody goes with every single option that's available on Merch by Amazon? That's why I always select t-shirts at the top. Well, this is the same reason. If you look here, from the manufacturer, like different designs or from the brand name, you can see here that there's no hoodie listed here. Right? Now, this person could have that design available in other ways, but my guess is maybe they're not high as tier. And so they can't afford to essentially use all their slots for the day remaining on things like hoodies and things like that. Maybe they know that t-shirts or pillows or phone cases sell better in that circumstance. So it's a little bit different, but like I said, I look for these things. Now, the last thing I'm going to look for after the design, after the font, after the images, and look for that kind of inspiration, after I look at the statistics behind it, and remember, if you want to see the different analytical data, there's all these different kinds of icons. The icon that I use the most is this one right here and this one right here. These two. So this the eye with the circle around it, and this one. Those are the ones that I use the most. The trademark checker, I don't really check too often unless I'm like super interested in something. But once again, if I know like based on history that something is not trademarked, we're good to go. But here you can see there's a keyword count. Now the keyword count is important because I want to know what the majority are using out there, right? Like, that's important to me, but this won't make or break me. Like I said, I don't rely on this because I believe that the platforms are slightly different. Like if I'm taking data from Merch by Amazon and applying it to Redbubble, there will be some changes. There will be some discrepancies in the information. But what I'm not, doing is I'm not disregarding it because at some level, there is something important here. Like if the word hunting appears a lot and the word funny appears a lot, maybe there's a good idea to create a funny hunting t-shirt or a funny hunting design. Or maybe if the word is, let's just say dad, and there's the word great, maybe great dads and the word hunting all go together to create a, like a Father's Day, great father, great dad hunting t-shirt type of style design. Maybe that would be profitable. And like I said, this keyword count over here is really underestimated by a lot of people. They underestimate it because, what is it? It's just a bunch of keywords. But you see here what is really being produced in high amounts, right? Like in high amounts. So you look here, the word elk exists. And I'm just curious, like, I want to see if the word deer exists as well. Let's go over here and let's just Control F this and type in deer, right? Let's go ahead and fix that. Let me see what I'm doing wrong here. And let's type in deer. Deer is the second one. I didn't even notice that. But you have elk here that's been used 109 times and deer that's been used 1,166 times, right? That might mean to me that the word deer might be too competitive. I might rather go for elk. What about the keyword venison? Just as, just for curiosity here, is the keyword venison highlighted here? It's not even highlighted, right? So that might be also an idea for me. So it just depends on the situation, obviously. And what this is this tool, and this is not me selling the tool. I'm just simply explaining how I use the tool. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and get it. I think it's like $10. But once again, if you want to use it, great. The link will be in the description. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. You can gain this information by maybe going on Amazon itself and typing in different keywords, but I just use this information as a luxury. It's definitely a luxury. It's not a requirement. It's not something that you drastically need. And I want to point that out because I don't want to create some false identity here that you need this. This is just something that I simply enjoy using that makes my life just a little bit easier. It doesn't, solve everything. It doesn't create designs for me. It just makes my life a little bit easier, like I said. So I look at the designs, I look at the titles, I look at the keywords being used. More importantly, I look at the analytics. I want to see the sales data behind the design. If I didn't, and this was at an earlier time when I used to create hunting designs, because if you guys remember, not last month, but the month before was it was the hunting niche. That was the store that I was doing. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I create a new store every month on Redbubble. And the store that I create has one niche. I don't deviate. I don't go, do a whole bunch of things. It's only one niche for the store. And I create 60 designs every day for that specific month. So if there's 31 days in that month, I'm designing for 31 days. If there's 28 days like February, doing February, right? Doing the whole February. So what happens is there's a circumstance, there's a situation where I'm sticking to one niche for the whole entire month. It could get a little, I don't want to say slow, but it could get a little draining because it's hard to come up with ideas every single day that are actually good enough to get a sale. Like, anybody could go out there and create 60 designs where you just change the colors of something, but that's not intriguing to me. That's not attractive. That doesn't, I'm essentially wasting time if I do that, because I know that consumers, if they're not going to buy the black version or the white version or the red version, it's not going to make too much of a difference if I make 20 other versions with different colors, like pink, purple, yellow, orange, green. You know what I'm saying? So that's not really my approach. My approach is I need to create designs that actually move the needle and actually create a sale, because I said this before, but once 2022 is over, I'm not coming back to Redbubble and doing 60 designs a day. It's just not happening. It's just too draining. It takes, too much mental effort. In the beginning, the first 5-6 months, it was okay, but now it's getting to the point where I'm just waiting, can't wait for the year to be over when it comes down to this Redbubble. But like I said, I made the commitment that I'm sticking to it, and that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm not breaking for any purpose. And so, like I said, sometimes it could get hard to create, new designs every single day. You got to remember, 60 designs a day, every day, that's about 1,800 a month. There's a lot of people who don't even do that in a period of 4 or 5 years. So it's a lot of work. But with that being said, I'll leave the link in the description to 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗧𝗏, the Redbubble Rocket Tagger. Any kind of tool that you guys need, you could check the link in the description. I'll also leave the courses, the Autopilot Passive Income courses, if you want to improve on your tagging, if that's something that you have an issue on. You have Autopilot. Let me go on Google and just show you guys how this works. Google.com. We have here Autopilot Passive Income. And we go over here to the website. And you have autopilotpassiveincome.com. We have 2 courses for Redbubble, if that's something you're interested in. We have the Redbubble Tag course. We have the POD Design course. The Redbubble Tag course, guys, is made for people who, I don't want to say need help, but struggle with the concept of tagging. If you have a low traffic rate, if there's not enough traffic that you're getting, and more importantly, if there's not enough impressions, if you're not appearing on people's screens, you probably have to take a look at your tagging, your titling, right? The SEO. Where are you driving traffic? A little rule that I like to do is it's going to be good and profitable for my store if I have 1 visitor per design 6 to 8 months after the store was created. So let's say, for example, I created a store back in January, right? Somewhere around now, I should be expecting, for my 1,800 designs, I should be expecting anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 visitors a day. Of course, there's going to be some fluctuations. On a low day, the next day might be a high day. There's going to be fluctuations, but should be around that kind of area somewhere. Now, phenomenal or great amounts of traffic is, double that. But that rarely does happen unless you're like a featured seller and you got a whole bunch of benefits, or maybe you're really, really killing it with the SEO, or maybe you're using a blog or something like that. But I'm talking about just straight up Redbubble, the organic traffic. You should be getting 1 visitor per design per day, at least. Because you think about it, you create a design. That design can't be too successful if it's not generating at least a visitor a day. Like, that's not a crazy ask. You know what I'm saying? And there are some designers out there with only 180 designs or 120 designs, and I could actually point you to some of them, and they have thousands of visitors a month. We're talking thousands upon thousands, and they're getting 10x, 20x the amount of designs they have in terms of visitors. Obviously, I'm not going to be in that scenario because I'm just a regular folk here, but that's just my kind of personal rule to the whole approach. But that's for tagging. If you need help with the POD designing, the reason why this course was made is because a lot of people would tell me, how can you sit there and create 60 designs a day? Meanwhile, you have to do the keyword research, you got to do the niche research, you got to do all that stuff. Well, first of all, I don't do niche research because I'm sticking to a niche for the whole entire month. So that's the first thing. The second thing is keyword research. It's a little bit, honestly, overplayed because with the design method that I have, I'm creating designs in certain areas of that niche that are low competition. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for low competition, right? Because if I can validate the approach, if somebody's made money in that niche before, I don't have to sit there and try to compete with everybody else. I can find the areas that are low competition. This course helps you out with that. I've created 60 designs in 34 minutes, or 63 designs or 64 designs, 33 minutes, roughly. The video is there. All the videos are there in the course. If you're interested in it, each course is $39.99. But like I said, those links will be in the description box down below. If you have any questions on what I spoke about today, specifically with the Merch Hunter tool or anything like that, leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to answer as much as I can, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.